Okay, we are going to get into it today. Ooh, I'm feeling all sorts of fired up because I am coming off of a group coaching call where the whole call was so powerful. And at the tail end, we got into a conversation that I feel really passionately about. And I'm like, I have more things to say on this. So I'm going to take it here on the podcast. Now, I want to give a little asterisk on this topic today to say that I am going to share my opinions, okay? I know that a lot of times Lisa and I share our personal experiences and we just provide food for thought, which of course I'm going to do today. And sometimes we kind of keep our own personal opinion out of it. But I want to let you know that today I'm not going to hold back. Okay. I'm just like feeling all sorts of passionate about this. And so I know that I'm going to give my own opinion on this. And I want to say that we may not agree. You may feel kind of sort of like I feel. You may feel totally different than how I feel. And that is okay with me. I'm okay with us not agreeing on this. And I think that it's an important conversation, an important topic for us to look. So I'm going to open up the door. I'm going to share my perspective on it to invite you to see what there is for you. And if we don't agree, it's all good. Here's what we're going to talk about today. Is it your spouse's business to be in your business? Now, if you don't have a spouse, this could be any person in your life that plays an important role, like another key relationship. So this could be just a long-term committed partner. This could be a parent. Sometimes this is like an adult child or something. So I'm going to probably use the word spouse or partner, but know that it could be different than that. But the main question is it their business to be in your business? Welcome to the Live Your Yes Life podcast. I'm Kaela Jetta. I'm one of the co-hosts, along with the best partner that I think a girl could have, my mom, Lisa Limata. We bring this podcast to you week after week to share with you key ideas, inspirations, things that we believe will support you to go from just dreaming and wishing and hoping that maybe one day in the future you can have the life of your dreams to actually live your yes life. So let's dive into it. Okay, so let me set the stage for you. Today, as I said, I was on a coaching call with the fabulous members of our Circle Mastermind. If y'all are looking for a place to get excellent coaching to support you with the inner work that creates the outer results, the Circle is the place to be, okay? So we were on a Circle call, and one of the questions that came up, it started with a conversation around, am I emasculating my husband? This is what one of the clients said. She didn't ask the question. She asserted it as a fact. She said, I have emasculated my husband, meaning that she has taken over the role of making all of the decisions, of making all of the choices, of really leading her family in such a way that her husband was like, hey, where's the room for me here? Okay, so that's what opened the door to this conversation. I'm going to circle us back to that. So I wanted to plant that seed. And as we kept going, we also were looking at a conversation about what is the role that we play in our partner's business, and what role do they play if we are entrepreneurs and business owners, and how does that all look? Because it can kind of feel like one big messy soup after a while. And so we're going to pull on some different threads and see if we can clean it up and straighten it all out. I do feel strongly about this. And I think that some way, somewhere over the time, this has gotten pretty complicated. And I think that there's a number of things that complicate this. Things like traditional values, things like new ways of operating, things like creating equality in the workforce, just like all sorts of different movements. We have like all of these ingredients have come into play and created a lot of interesting things when it comes to whose business is what business. Okay. Now, the majority of our clients are female entrepreneurs. We also have men entrepreneurs that are clients, and we have people that are not entrepreneurs that are clients. But the majority, I would say 90% of our clients are female entrepreneurs. And so we often are swimming in the space of these female entrepreneurs having a husband or a partner. And what does this look like? What is their role in our life and business? So, this is what I think. This is my hot take. This is my opinion. Again, you're welcome to disagree. But my belief is that the role of our spouse is to be our spouse. Now, if we are in business with our spouse, then we have a secondary role where they also are our business partner, which is similar to my mom is my mom, and she also is my business partner, which means that we have two distinct relationships. We have our most important, longest lasting relationship of being mother daughter, and then we have a secondary relationship of being business partners. My husband is my husband. He is not my business partner. He does not have a role in my business. And so, therefore, we only have one relationship, and it is as husband and wife. And so, my opinion is that our partners should have the role that they have, and that's it. Okay. Now, again, if you're in business with your partner, then you have two roles with them, and I'm here for that. I'm good for that. But if you're not in business with your partner, then I don't think that they have business being in your business. This does not mean that they can't be in the loop, or they can't know what's going on, or they can't support you. But I think that we give away our power a lot when we try to have someone get in our business who is not in our business and is not a skilled professional. Okay, not a professional that we have hired to be in our business. And I'm going to speak from the lens that I see a lot because I have the lived experience of seeing this. So, as I said, I work with a lot of female entrepreneurs. And what can sometimes happen is their husband starts to get in the business, either because, well, actually, it's not even either, it's mostly because the woman has said, hey, I really am wanting you to give me your thoughts, opinions, advice. And I love and I celebrate being in a relationship where we know that our partner is smart and wise and has good opinions. I just don't know that that's the role that our partner should be having. In fact, I know that it's not. Because if we thought, golly gee, my partner really has it going on when it comes to my business, like they know their stuff, well, then they should be part of our business. Then let's bring them on down. Let's get them a seat. Let's be paying them, okay? That is my take. If I thought that my husband could contribute to my business in a way that is necessary, then he should be on my payroll. I'm not saying that your husband cannot be in your business. I'm saying that if he is, best put him on your payroll. And if he's not, then he shouldn't be. Then his role should be to be your husband. And I know that I'm using, like husband interchangeably. Just like remember, we're a diverse community. Insert your own relationship here. I'm just speaking to the majority of what I see in my own lived experience. But it doesn't always go like this. In fact, a lot of times what happens is that someone will say, well, I really want to do this. And the someone is the female entrepreneur. She says, I know what I want. I am clear about the direction that I want to go, and I want to hire an assistant, or I want to invest in XYZ. And then she'll say, but I've got to check with my husband first. And I'll say, cool, I didn't know that your husband was your business partner. Should he be on this conversation? And she'll say, oh no, he's not in my business. I just always check with him before making financial decisions, which then is curious for me because this is a business decision. Okay. So as entrepreneurs, we've got to make business decisions as business decisions. And then we make personal decisions as personal decisions. Again, this does not mean that we're keeping any secrets from our partner or that we're going behind their back. No, ma'am, not at all. It's just that our partner has a different role than being the financial gatekeeper or the go-ahead. And here's why I'm so passionate about this. This is not some kind of like rah rah girls, we can do it. We don't need them. That is not my come from at all. What actually happens is that we use our husbands as our scapegoats to avoid trusting ourselves. And that is not fair to our partners. Okay? So this is what I see. Jane, I'm just making up a makeup name. I don't think I have a client named Jane right now. So nobody would think this is about them. So Jane will say, "Okay, I've decided that it is time for me to invest this money and spend XYZ." Maybe Jane's like, "I want to have a studio space. I want to have my own space to do my work. And this is a choice that I know I need for my business. I know that my business can grow. I know that I need this support, this resource. So I'm going to do it. But I got to talk to Bob first." And Bob is not on Jane's payroll. Okay. Bob is Jane's husband. He's not in her business. So this is very sneaky, and it is a disservice not only to Jane, but especially to Bob, because what Jane is doing is using Bob as her scapegoat. So Jane will go to Bob and say, "Hey, Bob, okay, here's what I'm thinking about. Gosh, I know that it's time that I get a studio space for myself. It's how I can see more clients. It's where I can grow. It's how I can make more money. But I'm really nervous because it's going to be an upfront expense. It's going to be a monthly expense. I feel afraid about that. It means that I have to make a higher income every month. And I know that it can pay off, but I'm feeling nervous about it." And what's actually happening is what Jane is energetically saying. She's really saying, "I might not show up and follow through and trust myself. And if I do that, I don't want to be the one to blame." So, Bob, could you agree with me that even though this is risky, it's a decision that we're going to make together so that when I don't show up, when I let myself off the hook, when I sabotage and get in my own way, I won't be the only one to blame. Together we can say, shucks darn, we thought that was going to work out and it didn't. And now we can share the blame. Okay. And do you see how that is not fair to Bob, my friends? Because Bob is over here just like wanting what's best for his wife. Bob is like, "Hey, I believe in Jane. I'm supporting Jane. I want Jane to build this business because it's what she wants. And I really believe in her. But now she's coming to me and she's not so sure. And so, gosh, I don't know what to do." It's not fair. What would be significantly more supportive and more powerful for both Jane and Bob is for Jane to come to Bob and say, "Hey, Bob, I have some exciting news. I have decided that me and my business are getting a studio space. And here's why this is great. Because I now have the space that I need to grow my business. I can see more clients. It's also requiring that I show up for myself in a new way that, quite honestly, I've just been tiptoeing around. I've been letting myself off the hook. And I want to be honest and say that I'm nervous. I know that in the past, what I might do is get in my own way or not follow through. But I have decided that I'm not doing that this time, that I actually am going to show up and follow through." And so, Bob, I am asking you as my husband to support me. I'm asking you to celebrate me. I am asking you to encourage and trust me while I'm making this decision for me and myself, and see me in that as your wife, as you're my husband. Do you feel the difference of the power that is there for both Jane and Bob? Right? Like, so much. And the reason that I think this is so interesting is I don't see a lot of men doing this. My husband has a side hustle. He has a full-time job and a side hustle. And never one time ever has he asked me if I think he should make an investment that he's needing to make in his business. He does not ask me. He uses his business mind and business funds to make business decisions. And yes, our family unit gets to benefit from that. When his business pays him out, our family gets to benefit. But my business is not his business. My job as his wife is to say, "I trust you. I believe in you. You've got this. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to be here for you. You have the room and the safety and the space to take risks." Okay, so now on this coaching call, one of my clients said, "Okay, well, my business is not actually covering all of the business expenses. And so our family income, which really comes from my husband's salary, is helping to make some investments. It's like he is an angel investor, and therefore he believes that he's a silent partner." And again, I'm not here to get in anybody's marriage. That is not my job. My job is not to be in the middle of your marriage. It's your marriage. You can choose you. But my opinion, which I said I was not going to hold back and I was going to proudly share in this episode, is that if someone in our life, our partner, our sibling, our parent, it doesn't matter who, if someone in our life is going to be an investor in our business, then we get to have a clear agreement about what it means to be that investor. And the example that I gave is that Lisa and I, we have a line of credit through Chase Bank for our business. Sometimes we need to make really big expenses and we need to have a lump of cash that we can put down up front and then we can pay that back over time. So we have a line of credit through Chase Bank. Now we have a clear agreement with Chase Bank that says they will give us X amount of dollars that we can use and replenish as much as we want. And Chase Bank does not have any kind of say around how and when we use and replenish, or we use that money. We have an agreement of how we replenish it, and we honor and meet that agreement and then some, but they have no say over how we use it. And I think this is where it gets sometimes slippery, is that someone in our life is choosing to be an investor and they think, well, now I'm a business partner and you think they're an investor. And so we just really need to clean that up. We need to be clear. Are they an investor? And the agreement is they invest the money. And here is the way, the system, the structure, the agreement for how we either pay that back or receive it as a gift and celebrate that. Or are they in fact a business partner? And if you and your partner decide to go into business together, I know so many husband-wife duos in business together, and I think that's amazing. It's just that it's a separate relationship, right? There is a separate business agreement of how we make decisions together. So if you're deciding to actually be business partners, then we need to be business partners and we need to have an agreement about what that looks like. Okay, now I want to circle back to the conversation that started this whole thing, and I said I would get back and mention it, which is my client saying like, I've emasculated my husband by taking over everything. And what I want to remind all of us is that harmony and balance are really important. And all humans have within us yin and yang energy. We all have masculine and feminine energy. And just like to keep it real high level and real surface, here are some easy examples. When we are taking the garbage out, that's masculine energy. That is like me efforting, here I go, doing the thing, masculine energy. Now, we know that anybody can take the garbage out. Anybody can use masculine energy. When we're sitting back receiving the meal that someone else has prepared for us, that's big receivership. That's feminine energy. All humans can use feminine energy. So all of us have the ability to use masculine and feminine energy. And in any one place, there will be 100% masculine energy and 100% feminine energy. And that equation will work out depending on the percentage that one person shows up with. So let's just keep using Jane and Bob. If Jane shows up in her marriage with 95% masculine energy, that means that there's only room for Bob to be in 5% masculine energy. And that other 95% of energy that he needs to use is going to have to be feminine energy. And if that's what works for you and your partner, amazing. I love that. I don't think that there's any right formula or percentage for any partnership. That is certainly not for me to say. That is for each individual partnership to sort out for themselves what the appropriate amount is. But if you're feeling like there's an imbalance, if you're feeling like, there's actually like my husband, my partner, whoever it is, does not have the space to show up and lead in the way that they're wanting to or I'm wanting to, what we then have to do is really lean back. And if we are finding that they are leading too much, that there's no room for us, then that means that we need to lean in. So by default, they lean back. Okay. And this is a really important conversation that is part of this. Whose business is your business? Especially when it comes to your relationship and your relationship in business. So I want to invite you to just chew on all this, to think about who is in your business, who are your business partners, who's on your payroll. That's whose business it is. And other people can be key and valuable players in your life, and they have a different role. And when you can be crystal clear on what is their role in your life and around your business, and you have an agreement around that, and you're finding the percentage of the dynamic that really works around the masculine and feminine energy, that is when you're going to find that there is the most flow, the most harmony, and that everyone really gets to have the experience that they want. So I would love to talk to you about this more, or anyone on our team. If this is resonating for you, if this is either if you're nodding along with me and you're like, girl, yes, say less, or if you are feeling a little like your feathers are ruffled and this is bringing up some big stuff, maybe you're feeling activated, then there's probably something here for you to look at. And again, I just want to say that I shared a lot of my opinions. If it is different for you, that is okay with me. I know I came in with a hot take, which we don't normally do, is be so opinionated. I just felt like this is what was meant to come up for me today, so it's okay. But anyway, however you're feeling, if you want to talk more about this, then let's book a call together. We offer something called an expand your capacity call. And this might be an opportunity to expand your capacity to look at how you are holding your relationship or your business relationships or your agreements so you can have more of what you want and less of what you don't. So you can book the link in the show notes to schedule an expand your capacity call. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm glad that you're here.